So
This is just me.
just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
this is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're giving.
Right! Hi, Facebook and YouTube family! It is incredible to be here with you again today. And today we have a real treat for you guys. Oh my goodness, we have so many amazing tribe members with us here today. I cannot wait to kick the show into gear. Just before we go, just a reminder, you are watching the Real Coffee Shop Conversation show for entrepreneurs, where we give real answers to real questions from real entrepreneurs. I am Nistine, and this is...
That would make me Peter.
And we are the co-founders of Explore Protect Entrepreneurial Haven, a company that provides networking solutions and that looks after the Explore Protect tribe. So the way this show works is we have gathered questions from entrepreneurs across the globe, and we are going to ask our panelists, so our beautiful tribe members, to answer those questions. Every time a tribe member answers a question, they get to say their name and their company name, which obviously gives you a chance to get to know them. And Stephen Levy is laughing because we always forget. But that is the idea of the show. Remember, tribe members, if you want to answer a question, then you please need to put up your heart emoji. Me and Peter will cue the questions from there so that we manage this within the time that we have. So this is the Coffee Shop Conversation show for entrepreneurs, and we are here to answer your real entrepreneurial questions. Here we go. Peter, first question.
I suppose it's time for the first question. Okay, right. This actually came in from Aubrey, and his question is, what is the best way to start building a client base when you're starting from scratch? Okay, I think that's actually quite an interesting question because we've all got to start somewhere. Ooh, Mr. Levy.
Let's start with Mr. Levy.
Okay, well, Aubrey, there are lots of people here that are going to can tell you how and the vehicle to use. All I'm going to say to you is start building relationships. Identify first who your client base is. So I think that's really important. And then start building relationships with them. Those relationships can be built preferably in person, but not limited to that. So, use Zoom. It removes all borders or whatever vehicle you want to use. But I won't touch too much on that because there are people here on this panel that are a lot more qualified than me to do that. So, yeah, I think it's very much building relationships and trust. And if I can say to you, whatever business you're in, I don't know what business you're in, but once you've identified who your clients are, build the relationships through offering them value. Don't sell anything to them. And that's all I've got to say to you. Thanks. But I'm sure there are people that will help you with a how.
Stephen Levy from Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond. Right, Stephen?
I did forget. You were right. But that's why you're here, and that's why it's called teamwork.
Thank you so much, Stephen. What an epic answer. Just before you go, I just want to get some clarity from you. So for those of our entrepreneurs that don't know, what does it look like to offer value without trying to sell someone something? And how is that supposed to get you clients?
Okay, so, Justine, on my journey in my businesses, one in the textile industry and my coaching business, and one in the construction industry, everywhere was gone around it's not about me and in my business. It's about what can I do for you? And I think too often, and I've been down this road, so I learned it, I'd really try to hard sell what I thought I could do for them, and wanted them, try to convince my clients to buy into that. And you can't do that. There's an old saying, nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody loves to buy. So I think one's got to maybe look at what are you doing for your client? What outcome are they going to achieve by the services or product that you offer? And that's the value that they get. So if you tell them about what value you're delivering, they'll either buy into that or not. And, it's kind of, if they believe what you believe and they believe it can help and they see the value in it, that's fine. If they're going to speak to you about price, you're going to battle to build long-term sustainable relationships, because then they'll jump to anybody who's got a better price. So it really is, and I think I've seen that on the Explore Protect tribe through your global online speed networking, is one of the things that you encourage is for people just to tell them what value do they offer. It's not about trying to sell to each other, and people will connect, and you just got to trust that. And also be okay with people that don't connect. If you're trying to sell to everybody, you come across as just a hard seller. And I don't, in my personal opinion and through experience, it doesn't work. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I love that, Stephen. And I mean, this approach works. Like, we can vouch for that because that's literally what you've done since you've been here, right? And I think you're coaching just about the whole tribe.
Actually, something that was touched on was part of that process was finding the ideal client first. So maybe we can jump to everybody else that has answers, and then maybe afterwards we can just step into answering that question, because I think that's a very strong part of the question that was asked.
Yeah.
I'd love to share my opinion on that, but I'll wait for someone else to answer.
Awesome.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, next up was the one and only, looking lovely, vivaciously awesome, Miss Kip in the house.
Wow, what an introduction. Love it. I hope you can hear me. The rain, the heavens have just opened here, so it's lovely and loud. Some ambiance for you guys. So my answer is obviously going to come from a different point of view. I'm just going to lead on from Stephen. So I would first go with your why, who, and how. So you've got to ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Who are you serving? Who's your clientele? And how are you going to serve them? So what's the problem that they're facing? And I feel like if you answer that, it will define your niche. Now, if you want to go more in depth of that, I did a live on Tuesday. So you think you can go to social media, there's catch up on Explore Protect's YouTube channel, and definitely go in that to just kind of establish your base camp first. And you want to establish that before you even think about leads. Then I'm going to suggest something different. There's 2 points here. One is an open day. So just do an open day where people try before they buy. So you do like a little bit of a half-an-hour workshop where people get to interact, get to know you, get to know a little bit what you do. And then from that, you can say, if you want to know a little bit more, you can, you kind of follow it on. And that will give you a little bit more of a kind of driving more of who wants your business. But also another thing is having an online event. So a really good platform is Eventbrite. Offer a free service of getting 10 people together on an online workshop. So the open day is a physical product. So I'm doing that for my yoga-based business. And then on a digital space is having an online workshop where you kind of have this once a week. I know that Linda Dent has that P for Glee or Glee. What is it called again? Sorry, P with Glee.
P with Glee.
That's the conjunction there. Sorry. And she does this workshop, I think once a month with an hour and a half. So I'm attending that next week, Wednesday, and I totally say check it out. And I think this is a great way just to establish yourself. You don't want to sell, but it's also a great way to give value without selling. My name is Tasha. I'm the founder of Kef Media Hub. I'm a social media strategist. Thank you very much.
I love that. Thank you, Tasha. What an awesome answer. And I totally see what you did there. Guys, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to hear all Miss Kef's tips.
And subscribe to Explore ProTech, and please like this Facebook and share with anybody who would find this interesting today.
Epic! I love it. Awesome. Okay. And then one of our newest tribe mates put up his heart. Shall we hear from...
As well as Janine.
And Janine. Oh, we have 2 new tribies getting in on the action. That is epic. So let's hear from Declan and then Janine.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So I think for me, the important thing about gaining clients is your first one, you beg, borrow, and steal. It's probably a partner or a friend who feels sorry for you or something. You know, but your first, what you do afterwards is the important thing. And especially when you're a startup and you're starting out, it's actually about your client is more valuable to you than you are to them, especially your first couple. And you've got to make sure that you learn from them. So doing things that don't make sense. So for example, I'm intimately involved with my client base that I've got going on at the moment. And I'm doing things that are it's not scalable, it's not sustainable. I am meeting up with them, I'm asking them what could be better, I'm learning about the product, and from what I started with a year ago to what I have now is a completely different product. And I think your ability to scale and to gain more clients is from learning about your offering, and you'll eventually learn when you're starting out that what you're offering was in your mind completely different from what your clients are actually. So yeah, I think getting clients is kind of easy. That's a part of the entrepreneurial hustle. You call, you beg, you borrow, you steal, but it's what you do afterwards that creates the sustainability of gaining more clients from that and learning. Your first client is your biggest learning curve. So that's just my little 2 cents there.
Awesome.
Who are you, Declan?
I'm Declan Williams. I'm the founder of a website called Let's Yak, an education-based sharing platform.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And by the way, I love your answer. I will never forget this. I can't remember who of you actually said this. I think it was Stephen Levy, but I always remember it. Like, the best source of new business is existing business. And it's really all about learning and tailoring your offer to provide the value for your clients. So thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. Let's hear from one of our other new tribe mates, Janine.
Oh, the potato lady.
So nice to have you here.
Thank you.
I love it.
So, from my side, to answer that is, I'm going to piggyback on Tasha and Stephen, what they said, is with regards to your target market. If you know your target market, it's going to complement your business like you've never seen before. And be specific. Don't just say small businesses. There's so many out there. Beauticians can be seen as a small business. Hairdressers, that's part of beautician. Is it nails? Is it hair? Is it feet? Be specific in what you want, because that is going to make you stand out. And I believe there's a saying that I have is SCS. And what that stands for is, think of a restaurant. When you walk in, you want to be served. So you have to walk in with that mentality to your clients as a serving mentality. Not their selling, it's serving their needs. And the C stands for caring. You have to care about your clients before you can sell anything. And the last S stands for to show them the value. So I hope that helps you. I am Janine, founder of Jelani Sales, cold calling made warm.
Beautiful. That is how you do it. Mic drop. Thank you, Janine. I love that. It was beautiful. And I definitely, that's something that Marlon actually continues to teach us. It's very difficult. Finding your target market and analyzing them a lot. Let's put it that way today.
Well, I mean, something that we went through recently, which was a huge learning curve for us and is actually a huge part of the question that was asked, was finding your ideal client. And it's been mentioned quite a bit. Be specific. That has been mentioned quite a bit. And finding your ideal client is being specific about what it is you're actually looking for. But finding your ideal client is not as easy as you think. Well, not for us. For some people, it comes naturally, and for others, it does not. For us, it did not come naturally.
No, not at all.
So it was a learning curve of note. Marlon and Stephen Levy were actually huge parts of us going through that process of finding our ideal clients. I don't know, Marlon, maybe you want to jump in there, because that's an arena that is just like your playground.
Yeah, I think you're still traumatized by coaching us through our sales process.
Not at all. You guys are awesome to work with. I think it's actually everybody's problem. I found it difficult as well, because I mean, like, I can help so many people. You guys can help so many people, but who's your ideal client? Like, it's something that, whenever the best businesses always start with like the smallest viable thing, right? So because we're all small businesses, we don't really have massive budget to just throw it at everything. So because of that, you just focus in on one area, and then you can duplicate it much easier, just because you may be throwing like 10 Rand at something, right? So when you're marketing to that person at 10 Rand, it's much easier. And then you can just take that and duplicate it across to something else. And it's just really just save money. So if there's any reason to find a niche or find a specific focus in on that perfect client, it's just to save money. And that's Marlon August, part of Story Advantage.
Amazing. Thank you, Marlon.
Which reminds me, part of us learning about our ideal client involved going through the 5K challenge.
I was just about to ask about that. Marlon, is it still available?
Oh yeah. So the best way to do that is to get into the Facebook group, because I'm gonna be training in there very, 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 like next week. We're actually gonna kick off properly next week. We're supposed to start this week, but I had technical issues. So everyone's still on time. We're gonna kick it off on Thursday next week. So join the Facebook group, Marketing Made Simple. Just go on you're on Facebook right now, or if you're on YouTube, just go to Facebook and go put in Marketing Made Simple group, and then ask to join the group, and I'll let you in. And we're gonna be training in there starting on Thursday, so it's gonna be awesome.
Wow.
Amazing. Can you put the link for us in the comments, Marlon, just on Facebook, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
And for those of you out there, we have been through that process. And
it's life-changing.
It was life-changing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you, Marlon. That's Mr. Super Sales. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Next up, let's go for this one. Okay, Tippy, are you ready? Rita, are you ready? Because you guys are going to give us a lot of value here. I think all of you, but specifically the two of you. Okay, this one is from Nicole, and it's a very interesting question. Okay. What is the least amount of time I need to spend on managing my finances every day? And what do I need to do during that time.
Ooh. Sippy's got to find her heart.
Can you
Sippy, you
repeat
need to
that?
find your heart.
Can you
lost my
repeat that?
heart, but I found my unmute button, so I think that will work for today.
Okay, I'll ask her just one more time and then we'll give Sippy a go. What is the least amount of time I need to spend on managing my finances every day, and what do I need to do during that time? I'll pop it for you guys into the chat. But Sippy, you can start answering so long. I'm really keen to hear this answer because I hate invoicing and everything else. So.
Okay, so I think invoicing is just a slight part of it. Managing your finances is quite a large topic, which could easily take 3 hours, but I'll try and say it in less than 3 minutes or 2. Okay, so the first thing is that horrible answer, which is it depends. Depends on what you're busy with. It depends on what you're invested in. It depends on what you're involved in. Okay, but in the structure of a small business, I believe that not even 10 minutes a day is the least amount of time that you should be spending on your business in the financing side. I'm excluding invoicing and quoting and receipts and that kind of admin and paperwork, which is really, really important. But when it comes to managing your cash flow, I do believe that every single business owner, without fail, should be sorry, Nestine, would you mind muting yourself? Because I'm hearing myself coming back to me. Thanks. So I think that you log into your bank every single day and you have a look and you see, and this doesn't even have to take 10 minutes, it can take 2, and see what money has come in and what money has gone out. And you start getting a feel, if you do that every single day, what is normal for that kind of the month, for that time of the month. So for example, if you've got debit orders, you will know if you do this every single month and every single day in every single month, that on the 25th of every single month, you will expect your MTN account to go off without fail. You know, your salary is going to, hopefully, if you're getting a salary from somewhere else, your salary is going to come in on between the 25th and the 30th. You'll see it come in, so that if a day passes without it coming in, you'll know something's wrong. If you've got specific clients who are going to pay you on every month, and it's now the 10th of the month and that money hasn't come in, but going into your bank every day, you will know. So don't be scared of your bank account. We're all scared of our bank accounts. Don't be scared of it, Tasha. You know, and I think that by doing that, you will have a real not only knowledge, but a real ownership of the finances in your business, and you'll be able to plan better and you'll be able to work better. You'll also be able to panic quicker when the money doesn't come in that you're expecting. But if you were to phone the bank, for example, and say, I need to get a short-term loan, and they say, what are you expecting to come in the next few weeks? You'll be able to answer them without even going into your bank. So for me, that is the most important tip for any business. And we've actually seen it in practice with our clients. Those clients who do that every day do better than those clients who only check their bank accounts once a week, once a month, etc. And to introduce myself at the end of this whole monologue, I'm Sippy Subatsky. I'm a partner in Howard Joel & Company. We are accountants, auditors, and everything else when it comes to helping you with that side of your business. Thank you.
Epic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tippy. That is good news. So really, like 10 minutes or less per day to manage your finances. I like that. A lot. That is epic. Just out of curiosity, I saw Tasha pull the face when you mentioned about being scared of your bank account. Who else here has ever had, like, as an entrepreneur, that feeling where you're like, I hate my bank account so much, I don't want to open it up?
Can I just quickly add to
Yeah.
Facebook? Because I had a fantastic meeting with Linda Dent, and I think it's so great that we niching on finance today, because for me, finance is something you either grow up with you're either a super logical star sign that is naturally born with it. But as a creator like myself, it's something that I wasn't, let's just say when I was 18, I took a one-way ticket to London and I was living my best life. Money came in and girl was living it up, okay? But I didn't get that discipline. I just kept on side hustling to increase my cash flow. And I'm going to be vulnerable. I suck when it comes to money flow. I am learning though. I just turned 30, so I think, maybe it's time I mature up so my 40-year-old Tasha would really love me and that I own a house maybe one day. And it was so cool because last night I finally sat down, and I know this sounds so late in the year, but I finally designed my budget plan, which is ridiculous. And it's something that I'm not used to doing, but it's I love this 10-minute idea tipping because I'm scared of my bank account because I haven't had that discipline. So I will implement my 10 minutes a day strategy and I will let you know how I get on. So if anybody's in my books, just start and it's okay.
I love that so much, Tasha. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for being vulnerable and for raising your hands. Like, that's what I kind of just want to put out there for entrepreneurs today. You know, like we don't often talk about finances. We like to talk about the passion and the why and the getting the more clients part. But it's a crucial piece like of entrepreneurship to be able to manage your finances. And I think for me, like I went through so much shame, especially in the startup space. Like when you're there and you're hustling, like being an accountant, I'm always feeling like I should open it up and there should be $1 million in there. And you know what? Sometimes there's just not. So I just wanted to put it out there that is okay. It's okay. We just, as long as you do the best that you can do and follow Tippy's tips, that is cool. Oh, we're starting a trend, Tippy. Tippy's tips. You'll be fine. Stephen Levy, you wanted to add something on. And then I think, Rita, you're also going to be thrown into this conversation.
Yeah, Nestine, I loved the way Tippy, seriously, Tippy, you answered that so well. It was really beautifully answered. And it just reminded me when she said, are you scared of your bank account? I want to share with entrepreneurs, when I started my business in 2001 in the textile industry, I started with nothing. I actually started with 6,748 rand and built it up into a 7-figure business. But was I scared? So I'm not an accountant or anything. I had a spreadsheet that I drew up myself where I could do exactly what Tippy said, is I could just see every day where we were in terms of cash flow. Was it scary? Yes. Was I scared of it? No. Because it actually, by looking at it and seeing what wasn't in the bank account, because there wasn't much, actually motivated me to go out and say, you better pull your finger out, my boy, and go out and get this flipping business running. So it was actually a motivation. So yeah, I agree with Tippy. It is scary, but don't be scared of it. It can actually motivate you. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Tippy. And that's Stephen from Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond. Yes.
Well done, Stephen. Amazing.
Oh, Marlon has a very important question to ask.
You're going to read that live?
No, I'm not. It's in the chat.
Okay. Rita, let's hear from you.
I think I'm going to come from a different view, probably the same answer. And here's a funny thing. I had a client yesterday, and we had this conversation, and I said to the client, listen here, because he's in the IT industry and they don't like this work that they do. But I said to him, listen, you've got the choice. Either you surrender your power to someone else, or you make it yours. And if you make it yours, your business will be successful. If you surrender that power to someone else, it's going to fail.
because you have to understand while you're busy setting up this whole thing. Yes, maybe later on you can do it, but for now, you cannot allow yourself to surrender your power to somebody else, because they will take you for a ride. That is as simple as what it is. That's how humanity works.
I like that.
Sorry, that's Rita from Coaching with Heart. Sorry, I missed that. I'm following Stephen's footsteps.
Yay! Another one.
I actually really like that, and I like that because what this brings to mind is that if you are on top of your finances, so if you are putting in your 10 minutes a day, it's that 10 minutes a day is giving you information as to exactly where you're at, and information is power. So if you know exactly where you're at, you know exactly where you want to be, you can then, and this is actually an analogy that was come up with by Stephen Levy, was you can't get to where you're going unless you know where it is you're going to. And in order to know where you're going to, you've got to know where you're coming from. And that's the only way to create that journey. So to know where you're coming from, understanding your finances and being on top of your finances creates your starting point. Understand where you're going to creates your end point. And then you can draw the line in between and understand the journey of how you are getting there. So that for me always stuck in my mind from the moment we had that conversation quite a while ago, but that's actually stuck with me. You can't get to where you're going unless you know where you're coming from. And that information on your finances is a key part of knowing where you're coming from and how you're going to get there. So,
And that's how you take back your power.
You take back your power by knowing where you're coming from.
Peter is, yes, 100% correct, because if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it for you.
Yes.
And then you are in serious trouble.
Yeah. Awesome. I really like that.
And that's not just only, when I'm saying this, I'm also referring to in your own life. If you surrender your power to somebody else in your own life, you are in serious trouble. So it applies it to your business and to your personal life.
I think I need to come for coaching, Rita, on how to take back my power.
Well, I mean, here's an interesting question. Sippy mentioned 10 minutes a day. For somebody like me, 10 minutes a day with finances is like pulling out teeth with a spoon. Because I'm not a numbers guy. I'm super dyslexic. I wouldn't know where to begin. I wouldn't know what the beginning of that process is. Is there a tool that can be utilized to control your finances? Smile.
I love the chat. Guys, you have to join the tribe just to come and see the backstage chat. But yes, Peter, there is a tool. It's called Xero. I don't know where Tippy went now. I think she accidentally dropped. No, here she is. Here she is. Tippy, tell us all about Xero. And you have your beautiful background with you, so that's amazing.
Yeah, I decided to change my background. Okay, so Xero is a great tool, but for a person who, okay, so let's start. For a person who's doing their personal stuff, if you've got a lot going on, that's great. Otherwise, if you're doing it just for yourself, like don't use Xero, use other things. For your business, a tool like Xero basically connects to your bank account, and on a daily basis, it draws down your bank statement into the account. You set up the account when you start, so that your income will go to the dedicated income account. So, for example, all your sales or fees or whatever will go through to that. And your expenses, so it's your telephone, your rent, your motor vehicle expenses will go through to that. And on a daily basis, you can actually see what has come through and how it's analyzed. You may have to reconcile it. So for a person who is dyslexic, I'm not too sure of a way around that, because that could be difficult. And I do sympathize. I've got family members who struggle with it. So I totally get, Peter, where you're coming from. On the other hand, once it has been brought down and reconciled, and you can always get someone to help you with that part, you can put it into pictures, and then you can have a look in a circle, a pie chart, a bar chart, or a finger if you want. I'm not sure what the finger's for. You can have a look and say, okay, in the last month, my sales, Nestine, you're pointing at Nestine, you're not showing anyone a sideways finger. Yes, Nestine would do that for you, that's correct. And then you can have a look and see, and your pie chart will show you exactly of that money that came in. It's a purely cash flow tool. How much of that was income, how much of that was expenses. And then you can click into that and draw down and see exactly of those expenses. Let's say 75% of that was something that actually maybe you could get for 20% cheaper somewhere else. So, and you can start making decisions based on that. But in order to go into the future, sometimes, and especially for a person who has been struggling to grow their business, go and look in the past and see what it is that you've been spending on, and does it match with what your original goals were? And is it maybe time to either get a coach or to say, okay, obviously this marketing strategy didn't work. Maybe I need to do something different. Or maybe I'm in the wrong area. Maybe my rent is too high. Maybe I should move down to the CBD or something where it's cheaper, or I don't know which CBD is cheaper, but you know what I mean. But, maybe I shouldn't be working in a Sandton, in Johannesburg or at the waterfront. Maybe I should be in a smaller area. Those kind of decisions which will help you move, save money so that you can invest in making more money. I hope that answer makes sense, because a tool like Xero does allow you to break it down.
It actually makes a lot of sense, because even though it sounds like using a tool like that gives you information, and information helps you make informed decisions, and informed decisions give you a sense of you're in charge and you hold the power to actually make those choices, but you can't make those choices unless you're informed. Mm-hmm. So like being on top of your finances would feel empowering.
Mm. Yeah, Tippy, I am so keen. I wonder if the rest of you want to join me, but who's keen on doing the how to manage your finances in 10 minutes or less per day show with Tippy? We love you, Tippy. That's how Declan became the IT guy. Okay, guys.
Can I say something just in support of Tippy, if I may, quickly?
Go for it.
Yeah, I you know what, Tippy, Tippy just highlights, actually, I'm sitting listening to, and I think for any entrepreneur is, yes, the numbers tell a story. We're not accountants. Well, I can't speak for me. I'm not an accountant. But I understood what the numbers were telling me in terms of the cash flow. You have to have an accountant. You should have an accountant. We need the Tippies of this world. And if you say you can't afford them, just look at how, if you're spending more than 10 minutes on your business, if you're spending a couple of hours on your finance, it's too long. You can take that time, put the energy into what you're good at, generate the money to afford Tippy and have her in your business. And let her spend the time on, and she'll take a quarter of the time and give you the right answers on how you're interpreting your numbers. It's so important. So thanks, Tippy.
And she'll probably put you in touch with one of these amazing, amazing business coaches to boot. So then you're like sorted for life, right, Tippy?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Although things change with technology. So you're sorted for the time being, and then we chat again.
Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Tippy, what's your view on QuickBooks for an entrepreneur? Because I know a lot of people go to that. So,
okay, so being that this is an international show and available to people all over the world, QuickBooks Online is very, very, very popular in America. It kind of speaks the American language compared to something like Xero, which is it was created, I think, in Australia or New Zealand. It's much more focused on the Commonwealth way of thinking, if I can use that. So it's like the UK, it's big in the UK, it's big in, it's getting bigger in South Africa, it's very big in Australia and New Zealand. I think in Canada as well, they're using it. So it really depends on the way that you are. Personally, I don't enjoy QuickBooks Online, but I know people who would swear by it. So there's a lot of similar integrations between QuickBooks and that you're with an accountant and you want to do what the accountant says. I have advised all my clients to move to Xero, just because I can then have them all in one interface, and if they could say to me, I'm having a problem with this, and I don't have to log out and then log into something else and whatever. So for my practice, I use Xero, but it really does depend on who your accountant is. And then if you're not going to be using an accountant for those kind of tips and help and whatever, then if you are more comfortable with QuickBooks Online, then go for it. It's a good program. And just because I don't like to use it doesn't make it bad. Does that answer that, Tash?
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for all the finance tips, guys. And Sippy, we will be doing that course or show or thing with you, how to do our finances in 10 minutes. Janine, so we're almost wrapping up, but we just had a really cool question come through on YouTube, and this one is for you. So someone noticed that you are in the cold calling business, and this is from Nicholas. He wants to know what exactly is cold calling and when is the right time to get someone like you to help me in my business.
So if you're asking the question, then you should call me already. Not to sell, not at all. It's to give you guidance and tips as to how to handle a cold call, because people are very scared of cold calling. It's a fact, and purely because of the rejection. And because I love rejection for some weird reason, I have tips and guidelines to help you how to make a cold call warm, and from the warmness, a success. I hope I've answered your question.
I think that's an epic answer, Janine. Maybe just explain to us a bit more. I think what Nicholas wants to know is, like, is it a good time to get you involved when you're just starting out in business, or when you're trying to automate your marketing, or do you need to have like a certain database in place? Like, where do you have to be at in order to use someone like you like most effectively?
So if you don't, people always say that they don't have a database, so they don't know where to start calling. And it's actually incorrect. On your phone, you've got phone numbers on there. That's a database. It comes back to your target market. And as soon as you have that, then it's going to filter through the rest so smoothly and so easily. So start with the people on your phone. Start with people who's liking your Facebook page. They're already interacting with your brand. And by that, you can just start serving them, caring about them, and showing them value. And from that on, your database will grow, and that's where your cold calling will kick in with newer and better leads.
That's really interesting. I like that. I didn't know that about cold calling. So you can use that in order to give value to like existing people that are, oh, nice. I thought it was only like, do you want to buy a telecom contract like right now?
No, please, no. No, that is such a myth in my eyes, that people think that's what cold calling is. It's just people selling. And it's not the approach that Jelani Sales does, not at all. We're taking the caring around it more than the selling. And once you have that, you start building long-term relationships for life.
That is amazing.
I like that.
Thank you, Janine. Nicholas, I hope that answers your question.
That's actually educated me as well.
Yes. Well done. Thank you so much for being here. here. Can we see your potato face again, just for Stephen Westwood? Stephen, we love you. We hope you get better soon.
Have a potato.
And potato's name is Cece. Cece.
What?
Cold calling.
I love it. Amazing. Guys, that is unfortunately our time for today. Like, if we stay here, we will talk for the whole day. But it's been an amazing value jam-packed show. Like, I have learned so much from all of you. I know our people watching us on YouTube and Facebook has learned so much. And Tasha, I'm going to attempt this. So if you enjoyed watching this show, you need to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to help us produce more content like this for you going forward. Yay! Awesome, cool. And if you want to see why I'm saying that, go check out So You Think You Can Grow Your Social Media Presence show on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page with Miss Kif. Amazing, guys. This has been incredible. I love you so much. And on YouTube, Facebook, keep sending us those questions. We'll keep giving you real answers from real entrepreneurs across the globe. And we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Tribees, remember to stay for the backstage chat if you want. But this is us for Facebook and YouTube for today. See you again next time. Bye-bye.